Naples was a heck of a place to have grown up. Ferrante, in Naples proper, made a rather interesting deal of the difference between proper Italian and dialect. And in the place I shall henceforth call my Naples, there is a similar distinction, and it means something roughly, and I stress the word roughly, equivalent in the one as in the original place. Probably the coolest thing about having to pay attention to dialect just as much as to language, to the words on the street and what makes them spring into being, as much as to the wellspring of poetry in any given tongue, is that certain rather ineluctable things begin to pop out at one. How quite to explain fully? There is a kind of soil very fertile for the production of things like the Divine Comedy or A Midsummer Night's Dream. A rather rare plot of earth, it's true, but nevertheless to be cultivated, in need of water, and producing a crop the same as more common and far greater and more populated swaths of land, from whence come so much seemingly common experience that really isn't. If one can hear dialect, then one might differentiate, say, a Neapolitan dialect from the dialect of Rome, from the dialect of Tuscany in general. And if one has so fine an ear for both the inflections of accenture and grammatic usage, really, really interesting things pop up. For instance, if one crosses over from the dialect of Genoa into the dialect of Milan, then one might hear in someone who speaks both, eliding the one into the other, a kind of history of scuffling about, a kind of, a kind of absorption of more than one thing, whereas the proper tongues, the proper Italian or the proper English, make this kind of observance rather difficult. And so each quite has its purpose. You know, wisdom cries out in the streets, and no man regards it. For a long time, there's been a talent agency, and admittance into this particular talent agency grants one the opportunity to tell the world its own most famous joke. Only no one knows the name of the agency, and no one knows its address. And so those who wish to tell the world's most famous joke have a rather interesting thing to do. They've rather got to label themselves in such a way that their labeling themselves accordingly will make the agency find them. I find this to be the most inspiring of all human processes. I had intended to tell my version of this, the world's most famous joke, but someone else has rather beaten me to it, and their version is much better. So without further ado, this is a video by Leon Shaka Fraser, the best I've ever seen. And here it is. People from my Naples, in Honolulu, Hawaii, will recognize a few things quite immediately.
Cook you for dinner, cuz I swear down, cuz. But I'm not gassing, fam, but what is wrong with you? Bruv, man's trying to sleep and you're just biting man's window cuz there's no food, fam. Bruv. Stop. I see, I'm coming outside, but I'm gonna fuck you up. Cuz the water is there and you're here. What is wrong with you? Well, he's actually kind of whammed all that. Fuck that. This nigga's jarring, bruv. This nigga's too jarring. Someone call RSPCA, cuz, because this guy's annoying me. I'm trying to sleep. Man's got lectures soon and you're fucking pissing me off, bruv. Move. Go home. Take that bread and fuck off now. You get me, bruv? You got what you wanted. Look. Go back.
Actually going.
Bruv, go back to where you came from. Wanker. These man robbing him. Look at these man, bruv. These man are sticking it on him. Look at him. No, don't come back here. Brethren, bruv. I ain't got nothing for you. Move. Listen right now. Tell your boy there, don't even think about it, fam, because I'm not playing. Bruv. Tell your boy don't even think about it. Come to a uni outside of London, they said. It's live, they said. Get the best fucking experience of your life, they said. Bruv, 2 of them now, bruv. Move, go away. I got a lecture. I'm trying to sleep, bruv. Go home. What do you want? Nah, Donny, that's Survivor, fam. You come outside my yard and you just shit. And you just fucking swan shit. Someone call Queen Elizabeth, yeah, bell her up, yeah, and tell her that her swans are bugging out, cuz. Her swans are bugging out. What?
Jehovah's Witnesses.
What you man on? Man's here now, innit? What you man telling me?
Hawkers like beef. What, chicken? The beauty of the Commonwealth of Nations. The chap knows that all swans are property of Her Majesty the Queen. And the way he says bruv is so cool. So yeah, everyone from my Naples, take good note. The idiom of this chap's dialect actually has Hawaii in it. Inexplicably, and that said with the world's most massive air quotes. This is the coolness of the English tongue. And from where I sit today, we all speak it right.